So last week we got the hotly anticipated full-on confirmation of Modern Warfare 2, the sequel project to Modern Warfare 2019 that will be releasing later this year. Now, if we're being honest, that was probably the worst kept secret in gaming for a myriad number of reasons, but we don't want to get too far off topic here with that one. Today, we're talking about how that gameplay and trailer reveal of Modern Warfare 2 may have just gotten a tad bit further away. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What are you hoping to see in the full-on reveal of Modern Warfare 2? And if you enjoyed the video, do be sure to drop a like on it. As well, if you're new to the channel, do be sure to subscribe button and stay there with all things Modern Warfare 2. The next month is about to be pretty interesting, so if you guys would like to stay informed while joining us on the road to 500,000 subscribers, I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, before we jump into the discussion at hand, a thanks to my friends at SizzleGG for sponsoring this video. Sizzle is a website where you can download free automatic highlights of your Twitch and YouTube streams with no additional software required. Sizzle saves you money and time by automatically clipping the best parts of your content and turning them into easy to digest clips for any compilations you may be putting together for games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, Warzone, League of Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, and FIFA, with more games to be supported soon. Sizzle allows you to get your highlights in either individual or compiled downloads, making it incredibly easy to share with your friends or to maybe even kickstart any content creation of your own. Not to mention, you can directly upload these clips to Twitter and TikTok straight from Sizzle. With new filtering options, you can find your favorite clips with absolute ease, so if you ever wanted to share that insane clutch or jump into the world of content creation for yourself and not have to worry about editing, Sizzle is the place for you. Check them out in the link in the description below, and a big thanks to them once again for sponsoring this video. But anyways, let's jump right into it. So a little while back, we talked about how insider Rouse Valve talked about how he heard when the reveal was. Up until this point, his intel had been solid. He predicted the details that we talked about here on the channel plenty of times for a while, and even pointed out when the first 2 teasers would be coming, which they ended up doing. But for a while, he banked on that May 30th date for a reveal for Modern Warfare 2, which, if we're looking at dates, it'd be kind of iconic to see because that'd be full circle at that point. We'd end up being 3 years exactly from when Modern Warfare 2019 was revealed. That full circle of the cycle would be complete and we'd be right back to square one. Now, if you remember, I also applauded Ralph for staking so much on this, for throwing out a specific date instead of giving a time frame or a window of opportunity that we'd end up seeing acted upon, because in-game dev, especially the publishing side of things like that are insanely volatile and are subject to change at basically any given moment. And I mean, it goes even deeper than just scheduling a YouTube video to go live. Sometimes trailers and stuff like that are changed mere minutes before they're dropped. Fun little bit of trivia here for you guys. If you remember the Warzone reveal trailer that debuted the mode to the world on the 9th of March of 2020, pretty sure if I remember correctly, that was Mama Said Knock You Out, or a remixed version of that by LL Cool J in that trailer. But when content creators and press saw the game about a week earlier in Los Angeles, we ended up seeing 2 versions of that trailer, one of which also including Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. And that was something that 99% of the people out of the probably like 75 to 100 people in that room watching it all together voted yes, absolutely, for that Bohemian Rhapsody version of it. And for context, that was absolutely the studio's vote as well. They just kind of put it to a vote with us. They're like, okay, which would you like to see? And if you want to recreate it, seriously, it flowed so well. But the point being, things like that are changed last second. In this case, for licensing rights that they fought tooth and nail for, from what I hear, up until the day the trailer was actually supposed to go live. So when they couldn't get them, they just went with that version too. But back on track, when you put a date on something like that, you're confident in it. You've got some balls of steel. However, while I'm not to the point of saying his sources are wrong, it seems like with more intel out there now from other insiders, things may have shifted internally a bit. So while we think of things being pushed back a bit, it's not a whole ton. The first indications here we had from this came from Tom Henderson, who stated hashtag Modern Warfare 2 soon, with the trademark icon as well, and followed up with Battlefield fans will know what rhymes with soon. And obvious jokes of falling far short of expectations in the game's delivery aside, it looks like this was poking fun at Battlefield and what they did last year for the official reveal, where the reveal and trailer came in June, rhyming with soon. Now, June is a huge span of time. We start to see things in the summer for game reveals and expos happen in June, so it doesn't narrow it down too much. However, that's where another insider, the Ghost of Hope, comes into play, as he mentioned he heard that June 2nd was the new target date for the reveal trailer. So if that's the case, June 2nd, honestly pretty interesting, and first impressions, that makes a whole hell of a lot more sense than maybe that 30th date that we saw initially teased. Activision usually likes to end the week with things here with this going into the weekend. They don't usually start the week out with this kind of stuff anymore. But I mean, while the 30th was still absolutely plausible, unlike the previously rumored 30th of April for a teaser, which didn't make much sense given that was a Saturday, we actually saw that first tease on the 28th, so a Thursday. Thursday is when that target date for updates usually happens, and those reveals in the last couple of years has actually coincided with. So that pattern established in the last 3 to 4 years here, it does check out. So The next question comes down to how will this be revealed? Before the date of the 2nd was thrown out, if we were to look at June, there's a number of things that could happen, but one of the big ones that people theorized was the Xbox showcase on June 12th. Though, again, with the 2nd in mind still, I still don't think that I would have bought into this because Xbox and Microsoft don't own the Call of Duty IP just yet. From all things that we've seen, it looks like the case of PlayStation's partnership will still be intact here for Modern Warfare 2019 and potentially even the game to follow. So if that's the case, debuting at a Microsoft and Xbox event wouldn't make a whole ton of sense. But with the 2nd in mind as that tentative date, that kind of makes things a bit more interesting because that should be right after the mid-season update, depending on how things work out, either 1 day or 8 days after that. I think that I'm kind of leaning towards that 1 week after mark, given that we know Operation Monarch is going to be a 2-week long event and starts on the 11th. So here's what I kind of think will happen. Firstly, and primarily, the reveal will just be a YouTube video that drops. Right now, there is no signs in the game files of anything of an in-game event within Warzone happening, so I kind of believe that's going to be debuted on the Call of Duty YouTube channel. If we were to see a mid-season event happen with this update to debut the Modern Warfare 2 reveal, we'd have to see some sort of framework already in place here for that. That kind of stuff is months out in terms of planning. I mean, we saw strings and assets for both the Cold War and the Vanguard reveals a couple of months before, like a season or two before they actually were introduced into the game as playable events. But if that's the case and it's only debuted on the COD socials, with it being so close to the mid-season event with no framework for said event afterwards happening, I wouldn't be surprised if the trailer itself is added into the update to let it be a playable cutscene or something like that once it's fully revealed. I mean, adding a video file and encrypting that with no traces leading up to it is a whole lot easier to do than compared to building the framework of an entire event. So if that's the case, maybe we just see the sort of pre-menu cinematic like we see with seasonal launches or mid-season events happen, and it's the Modern Warfare 2 reveal trailer that you can skip or watch. And we've already kind of seen this cross promo happen with Modern Warfare 2's confirmation last week. We saw the messages of the day were all part of that Modern Warfare 2 sort of, hey, check this out. As for what's being revealed, it'll likely be a gameplay trailer of in-engine footage, not raw gameplay like we'd see of the MP or campaign if we ourselves were playing it, but also not a fully rendered cinematic like the campaign cutscenes that we'd see setting up the next mission. Now, I'm mentally comparing it to Modern Warfare 2019's trailer, which incidentally showed a little bit of everything, not just campaign. Of course, we did have that sort of story and narrative given, but we also saw a cut MP map in there. We saw a Warzone tease that at the time, you probably would never consider that that was going to be a Battle Royale teaser, but it was something they showed a little bit of everything. So once we learn more in time, you might be able to piece it all together, but we might be seeing some of our multiplayer maps. We might be seeing some of that story that is being told, and who knows, maybe even a little bit of maybe DMZ or even Warzone 2, but sort of under the guise of following this minute-and-a-half story trailer that we'd see given for a normal reveal. But that said, that essentially covers all the bases here of what I want to talk about and what we can expect here for the upcoming month in terms of an official reveal. Now, of course, we will be seeing more teasers likely happening here over the course of the next couple of weeks leading up to that, but as for the full-on reveal, a little bit of that development here behind the scenes that maybe changed that initial target date. Wanted to bring you guys that. So drop your thoughts down below. Are you guys looking forward to the reveal of Modern Warfare 2? Is there anything in particular you guys would like to add to the conversation? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing running all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. Seriously, we have a ton of stuff here upcoming in the next couple of weeks to months. It's going to make things really interesting. So if you guys are at all interested, I'd love to have you in the community. That said, thanks so much for watching. Modern Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.